Yeah.
How do you get your jobs? How do you get leads? How do you get more customers?
Yeah. So to start with, advertised. I had an ad in the local newspaper every week for probably the first 2 years. That was probably my basis. Social medias. So right now, sorry, just to start where I am now. Now I don't advertise. We've got the reputation, we've got the word of mouth. I've been doing it for a few years and have built that good reputation. So not actually advertising because I'm also getting very booked out with work. So, but to start with, the newspaper. But from the start, I was running before Facebook even had Facebook business, and before anybody was doing any advertising on social medias, I jumped on it, and I was the weird guy taking photos of myself in front of my jobs. I was the weird guy videoing myself, and people, man, I did feel like an idiot a lot of the time. And to be honest, I don't even know why I kept doing it at the start because I don't think a lot was coming from it because it wasn't a big thing then. Um, and people used to say, "Man, don't you feel weird taking a video of yourself or taking a photo of yourself, or isn't it weird putting your jobs on Facebook? Like, why are you doing that?" And I just had an idea, and I knew it would be a good thing, and I just knew that was the way it was going. That people a lot of people were going to Facebook and going to Instagram to check up on people, and turned out that I was pretty right. And now 100% of my, I guess you could call it advertising. I don't generally put too much money into it, but 100% of my leads come from social media because they're either following me or they're following someone who's following me and something pops up. If they want to build, they jump straight onto your Facebook or Instagram. And the good thing about doing that and doing it well is that they can jump on to your Facebook and see exactly what you look like, what you sound like, the jobs you're doing, the guys you have working for you, and the passion and the attitude you have towards your work. If you can show all those 5 things and they can see that in a minute, you've got them. And that's the thing. This day and age, newspapers, the yellow pages, the phone books, they're gone. They're dead. If they're not dead, they'll be dead soon. TV ads are just way overpriced, and that's going out the window too. Even radio. The only way to go is Facebook and Instagram. You talk to anybody, even myself. If you want something, you go on Facebook and check them out. If they're not on Facebook, they're not a good company to go with. So I look for someone else. So I want to make sure that someone can say, I want to build. I've heard about this guy. Let's check him out on Facebook. Within 1 minute, they can see 5 or 6 jobs we're doing, what I look like, what I sound like, the attitude I have towards my job, and the guys I have working for me. And to me, I feel like all 5 of those things in check. So they boom, 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 phone rings. I've got them.
So you got on Facebook way back.
Oh yeah, yep. I was doing it. And I'm not saying I was a world leader in it, probably nowhere near, but around here in my area and my connection of people I knew, I was the first one and the only one doing it. And I can tell you for a while there, I felt like a goose.
Well, the goose laid a golden egg, it sounds like.
Turns out, yeah, yeah. So it
So,
was definitely,
I guess what that raises in my mind is a question. So, Facebook was very organic and very active 4 or 5 years ago, and then has lost a lot of that organic ability because they want you to pay to be seen. Did you see any change, like, and now you're on Instagram and you're very, very active on Instagram. Have you shifted from Facebook to Instagram, or is Facebook still your number one? Or how do you look at both platforms and the change that took place as Facebook began changing their algorithms and then Instagram began to rise in popularity?
yeah, yeah. So I'll just put it straight. To me, Instagram is my showcasing and my networking. So Instagram, probably majority half of my followers are, the likes of you over in America, or other tradespeople, other builders that are following me, and I follow them. It's a great way to connect, a great way to learn new things. But to me, Facebook is on the local level. So I think on Instagram I've got 8,500 followers or something, whereas on Facebook I've got 1,600. But with Instagram, 8,500 followers, only 1,600 of them are probably from my area and are likely to turn into a lead, right? Where Facebook, the 1,600 followers are all predominantly in my area watching me because they're either a client, a past client, a friend or family, or a potential client. So for me, Facebook is where that's probably the most important because that's where leads are coming from. And I can testify to that because people come into my office, I don't even have to ask them, and they say, "Yeah, I saw you on Facebook, or I saw that on Facebook, and I saw you did this on that job on Facebook." Like, and I don't even know they're following me, but they've been following me for 2 years, and they watch me every single day. And then that has turned into them sitting in my office, paying me their life savings for their dream home. So, and as far as the algorithms changing, yeah, I have noticed it. I think there's a lot more people pumping a lot more money into it, but that's because they can see the benefit of it and they can see where it's going. So I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing. I do a little bit of advertising on Facebook, so it's more like if I've done a job and I, want it to go around to 100,000 people in my area to see because it's a pretty cool job and, it might turn into someone sparking interest into ringing me, or to get some more followers, then I'll do that. But, yeah, definitely have noticed it, but don't think it's a bad thing.
So your Facebook ad strategy is that more just spur of the moment, like you think I'm going to advertise a little bit about what I'm doing right now, or is it a strategy where you think through what all you're going to be spending on Facebook and what it's going to bring you back in return?
Yeah, yeah. So I'm sort of in a place now, and I've got to be careful here because this can also scare away potential clients, but I'm in a place where I've got enough work for the next couple of years, and I'm sort of turning down a lot of work because I just can't keep up with it. So I'm trying to be a bit careful with advertising, and definitely advertising the fact that I'm trying to draw people in, because I'm kind of not. Like, if people come, I'm still working with them, and I just have to point out the fact that you might have to wait quite a while, and there are people that do want to wait, but so for me right now, I'm not really advertising. It's probably more, if I do, it's more because I'm still trying to build my following and build my base of followers and that sort of thing. So because someone might be sitting in their lounge room and see something pop up and go, "That's cool, check my page out, that's cool, like," and in 5 years time I want to build a house, I've been following this guy, let's give him a call. So at the moment, it's more about the future, rather than right now with the advertising side of it.
Yeah. And I really like how you broke down the difference between how you see Instagram and how you see Facebook. I want to know how often you're posting on Instagram and what it is that you're posting there, and then how often you're posting on Facebook and what it is that you're posting there.
Yeah, good question. So, um, and to me, Instagram is a hell of a lot easier to use. Instagram is all over Facebook, which to me, I kind of feel like I wish it was the opposite because I've got my world audience on Instagram, but I've got my local audience on Facebook, and I'd rather it be the other way around because, you guys that watch me don't pay me, but I love that you can watch me. I love connecting and building these relationships. And it's almost like a little hub. Like, there's a lot of guys on Instagram that I've been following for quite a while, and, they say to me, "Man, I look up to you and what you do." And I'm thinking, "Dude, I look up to you and what you do." And so it's so cool that you can do that. And I'm always personal messaging guys, even over in America, like, "Hey, how do you do this? I love the way you build. How do you do that?" Like, I'm not shy to just jump in and ask how to do something and to be learning and to try and stay ahead of the game by seeing what other people are doing that might be ahead of me. But yeah, the Instagram, I usually put my photos on Instagram, and then I can send it off to Instagram, Facebook, Tumblr, and Twitter all at the same time. So you
Okay.
can, you can choose them all. So that's predominantly what I do. But I do put some things on Facebook that I don't put on Instagram, more on a local level sort of thing. Like if I'm sharing a blog or if I'm, and the thing with Facebook is you can upload an album of photos. So just yesterday, this really cool roundhouse we're building,
Mm-hmm.
I just took about 15, 20 progress photos where we're at the moment and just uploaded them on Facebook as a folder of 15 or 20 photos so people can see the progress and look at them all, where you can't do that on Instagram. So that didn't go on Instagram. Instagram, just get one of those photos.
Okay. Now, your Facebook page, are we talking about a local business page or your personal profile?
Yep, that's another good question. That is my business, predominantly business. So I don't even really use my personal page. Unfortunately the way it was set up is originally I had my personal page, and then off that I linked and started the local business page. So the stem of everything sort of wants to come from the personal page. So I'm logged into that, but my business page is sort of tagged onto it, if that makes sense. So I've got to go into the separate link to put things on my business. But so I sort of wish it was the other way around. And I did make that transition probably, could have been 2 years ago. I reckon I made the transition from just getting rid of my personal ones and made my personal one my business one. So I don't switch between personal and business on Instagram or Facebook. I've just disregarded my personal one, and my personal one is my business. So, all my friends and family follow me on there, and hence the fact I put photos and videos of my family and my dog and what I'm doing on the weekend, because I feel like, especially because, and what I've personally found, and just from feedback, is that 99% of the people that follow me are also interested in my life and what I'm doing outside of work.
Sure.
and that sort of thing. And so that's why I do a lot of that as well.
Yeah, that's great. And now that Instagram has a stories feed at the top, that gives people a little more of an intimate glimpse into your life as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I love that. I love that function. I really wish. I mean, Facebook just brought it in, but again, if I to do it, it goes on my personal one. I can't actually do it for my business one, which is really frustrating me. So if anyone out there knows how to do that, let me know, because I'd love to do it. But that's the thing. Like, people just want to know in this day and age. It's like, for me, I follow people that have nothing to do with building. It might be cake making, because who knows how a cake's made, and it's interesting to follow someone who shows you the back end and behind the scenes of making a cake, and the personality that goes into it, and everything about them and what goes into it is so interesting. And you've never, in this day and age, you've never been able to get that perspective into other people's lives. And so what I love about it, and I even love, I follow you, I follow other builders on Instagram, and I get to see your business, but then I get to see how you run your business, what your day looks like, what your day looks like when you go home in your home life, and even those sort of things. We can learn things. Like, I watch really closely some of these other builders over in America that are running big shows like me, just to try and find out how the heck they structure their day, because sometimes I feel like my day just goes psycho. I don't get anything done, and I don't feel like I've got any time for myself or anyone. And then you watch stories of other people, and they look like they've got it all together. So you try and meticulously watch it to pick these little things and learn.
Let's pick that up for a second. How, like right now, what are you working through as far as your day structure goes?
um, just over the last few weeks, I've really had, like, just yesterday, I said to myself and my wife, and even my supervisor, I said, I need to get my crap together and actually start structuring my days, because so right now I'm also involved with a couple other businesses that are demanding quite a bit of attention. And so 100% of my attention is not towards the building at the moment. And what I'm finding is sometimes I can neglect my employees, if they're trying to ring me or do something, but I'm doing something else, or I'm neglecting the other business because I'm focused on this. And especially with my construction business, it's very full on. So I've got 9 guys working for me, and like I was just saying to you before I jumped on, I had to turn my phone on silent because I probably get about 200 phone calls a day, and I pretty much if I could, my title would be firefighter,
Mm.
not builder or entrepreneur or anything else. It's firefighter because all we do as business owners is put out fires all day. It's our responsibility. Every problem, everything that arises throughout the day comes back to us as a business owner, and the last point down the line is to make the decisions. And so I just feel like all day your attention is demanded towards these problems and these issues, they're not big problems. They're just someone will ring and, hey, how do I do this? Which way do you want to go about that? Like, I'm the one that has to make that decision. So it's getting very hard day to day to structure it and make sure I'm getting everywhere. And to be honest, only 3 weeks ago, I had a pretty hefty mental breakdown. I was very tired, very stressed, very run down. For the last, pretty much since Christmas, I've not been able to get in the gym, and that is something I love. That is my time. Just for an hour a day, I get in there, pump the music, lift some weights, and I just haven't even been able to do that since Christmas because I've been so busy. And so that, that plays on me. I don't feel fit. I'm comfort eating. So I don't, I feel like I'm getting overweight. I feel like I'm unfit. I'm stressed. I'm tired, and it's actually getting to me. And I'm going to PNG tonight for a week.
And
I think when I come back, sorry,
PNG is where?
Papua New Guinea.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a business trip for this other business that I'm doing that we can get into later if you want. But yeah, when I get back, I seriously need to sit down and structure my day out a little bit more because at the moment my day looks like I get up about 5:30. I try and take my dog for a walk around the bush here. It's about a 20-minute walk just to have 20 minutes of the day where I can just think for myself, listen to a podcast or I listen to some music, just have my own time.
Just you and then the kangaroos.
Walk around with the kangaroos. Yep, that is normal around here.
That's
we see
crazy.
Kangaroos. They're pests. So yeah, I do that, and then as soon as I get back, like I said to you before, as soon as 7 o'clock hits, the phone just goes nuts. It's on, and then I'm pretty much on my feet all day until 7. I want to spend a little bit of time with my kids and then put them to bed and be involved with them, and then half the time I'm back up in the office, or I'll try and spend time with the wife. So it's getting a little bit out of control, and I'm working too much at the moment.
I appreciate you sharing that. I want to get back to the social media thing and wrap that up. You mentioned blogging. Do you have a blog?
Yes and no. I'm sort of a shortcut blogger. So I have Tumblr, which I think is a blogging platform. So, but all it really is at the moment is whatever I'm putting on Instagram. So that goes onto Tumblr, which in fact is a blog. But like I said, I'm sort of cheating and I'm not really going and doing a separate blog, but I know I need to. Blogs are very important. Blogs, I've got a guy I know who's in the SEO and the back end, like the Google Play, that sort of thing of the business, and he says he reiterates that blogs are very important, and I know that, but again, I just don't have the time. So,